Welcome back, 1/64 scale diecast collectors, and specifically today Hot Wheels collectors, to the Hot Wheels Museum. Here we are live on location, and we're going to be opening up a box that's kicking off my 2017 to a great start. I bought this over the Christmas holidays on eBay 2016, and it arrived at my door yesterday. I've saved it. I'm going to open up with you guys live on camera. Shipped to the O-Dog, man, that's me. And this thing is full of Hot Wheels, Blackwalls and Blue Carded ones from the late 80s through to the early 1990s. Some extremely rare pieces. This box weighs about 10 or 15 pounds. It also cost me $1,000 Canadian. So let's get this thing opened up, and we're going to go through each individual cool piece with you. You're going to see them out all on the table for our review. To give you a bit of a backstory on why I bought these expensive variation cars that are going to be coming out of the box in a moment, here's a quick look at the Hot Wheels room wall, starting in around 1994, and showing a variety of collector series cars as well as mainlines and blue cards of the time, parking plates and revealers, all sorts of cool things, the California Customs, all these awesome cars. I've been trying to collect completely every known vehicle that Hot Wheels made between 1974 and 1994, roughly, a little bit beyond there. My earlier years of the collection are actually quite complete, but I am still looking for a few cars here and there. The odd little variations, such as a Redline Show Hoss Mustang, is missing. Most of the cars I'm missing are so rare that they're extremely expensive and hard to find, and also quite often forged, unfortunately. So I've kind of slowed down on those types of purchases, but certain cars, if I see them, I'll still try and pick them up on eBay if I can. And today we're going to fill in a few more of these spaces where some of those rare variation cars are missing. Let's get into this video now. Let's go and get this thing, this mystery box for you guys, opened up. And in fact, I bought so many cars, it's a bit of a mystery for me now, trying to think back a couple weeks ago, all the cool things I bid on. So we're going to find out very shortly here. Well packaged. This is one of my favorite sellers on eBay. Been buying from him for many years, and this is how he sends the cars. Very well packaged, each individually wrapped. Let's get into some of these cars here. These Power Command race cars are from 1990 and have a windback motor, which I'll demonstrate later for you, but you can initiate the car by either blowing or pressing lightly on the rear spoiler, which unlocks the motor, and then it goes. There we go. But we'll look at all that later. I bought a complete collection, every single Power Command race car that Hot Wheels made in 1990, and we're going to look at those as they come out of the package. Due to the sheer volume of cars here, let's just get through all of these cars, and then we'll look at them once they're sorted on the table. Toyota MR2 now coming out. Here's another Power Command race car. Beauty. Power Command race car, the Corvette. Now these are not mint, but they're darn close to it. Unplayed with, probably just a little soiled from storage. Sure they'll clean up very nicely. All the tampos are there, no damage. No missing tires or cracked tires. Often these cars have cracked tires on them, or missing tires as they are removable rubber. And sometimes the motors don't work, but we'll see about that. Either way, they look awesome. The chrome is nice and shiny on the engine of this 57 Chevy. Each of these Power Command race cars are an actual Hot Wheels casting too, from the main line, just featuring a plastic body and a metal chassis instead, with no interior, obviously, to hide the motor, which is, you can kind of see it up behind the wheel well if you look really closely at them. Here's one missing its spoiler. What a shame. Oh, it's in the package. That's okay. Not a shame. I forgot. These spoilers are actually just clipped on. There are two different types of spoilers, I believe, to look for. And sometimes they just come off. And I got a complete variation line of the Sheriff Patrol car, or the Highway Patrol car. There's going to be some extremely rare variations we're going to look at there. Pretty much every car that came out through the years of my collection, 70s through 80s and 90s. Power Command, that one's a little dirty. Hopefully these will wash up with a little mild soapy water on a sponge. You don't want to use anything abrasive when you're cleaning your Hot Wheels. I did have a question recently about how to clean Hot Wheels. If they're more than dusty, like these ones have some sort of residue on them, I would suggest using a mild soapy water and make sure to dry the car so you don't get any rust. The old Aquafresh Toyota MR2 exclusive. I think that was about 96. What an awesome car. Got a whole MR2 collection here. Quite a few rare ones coming out soon. So we look at them all. The rest of these are filling out my collection of these cars on my Blue Card wall. Here's a very rare Highway Patrol car without the number 12. Often forged, you can sometimes see the outline of the 12 or a disturbance in the white paint where someone has just erased the 12 to make the more rare non-12 version. Really, you need to buy that one in the package if you want to be certain. And even then, packages can be opened and glued shut again with ease, especially the older ones. There is a rare MR2 car. I think that's from a playset or something. We'll figure all that out once we get them out of the package here. Another Power Command race car. Apologies if my hand is in the way at times. So many cars to look at here. More Power Commands. In total there should be, I believe, 16 Power Command cars, 8 different castings, each one with 2 different paint jobs. Or bodywork, I should say, since they're not painted. Keep missing the spoilers here. They're coming off when I'm unraveling them. The old Chevy Stalker. Police Patrol. That is from, I believe, the Stow and Go playset. 1992. Pretty hard car to find. Specific paint job that looks a lot like some of the other metallic blue Sheriff Patrol type cars. There is another Chevy Stalker. And here is a rare MR2 in orange. Very nice car. That is definitely an exclusive of some kind, some sort of playset. Here we've got the gold Hot Ones wheels, or not Hot Ones, the gold Ultra Hots. This is a pretty rare car with a pink interior. Pretty sure these cars don't normally have a pink interior. I need to look at that. I think they come with a tan interior. A yellow interior. I just spotted on the wall. That is a very rare variation to find. And there's an even rarer one coming after that, which we'll find here in a second. That one would have been released around 1992 or 93. Power Command Ferrari Race Bait 308. And a whole bunch of these Nissan hard bodies. Basically a Nissan pickup truck. This one has the metal base. We're going to see a lot more of those as we keep digging, and some extremely rare variations. I picked up about 20 of them for $100, and one of the trucks alone I've seen sell many times for $100. So basically bought one and got 19 other rare trucks for the bonus. I love buying bulk lots when I can find them. It's pretty rare. This is a more recent, that's a playset racetrack exclusive car, I think around 1999 for that MR2. Can't remember off the top of my head just what race set that was. Here's the Getty is it gas promotional car. Here's a fairly standard sheriff patrol car. Ah, the Kool-Aid promotional Nissan truck. Nice. What have we got here? IROC Camaro. This power command has seen better days. It's got some sort of goop in there. We're going to have to clean that one up good, but it's in great shape otherwise. The base is nice and shiny. The axles are pretty straight. That's the first bent axle I've seen. The tires, clearly this car has not been exposed to any UV sunlight, because the plastic is not brittle, the tires are not brittle, they're not faded, which is quite often the case with those plastic bodied cars. There's another standard sheriff car. Note the slight difference here. One featuring the roof tampo, the other does not. This is the newer model. You can tell it's got the Hot Wheel logo on the bottom, whereas this one just says in block letters Hot Wheels. That's always indicative of a... Oh no, the motor's popped out of this one, and this is the rare. I believe this is the rare one with the black centered construction tires. Hopefully that isn't detrimental. Motor damage. Looks like the rivet just kind of popped out. Not in the package. I think that one's worth about 20 bucks according to an old Mike Zarnock value guide. Another easily forged vehicle though, because the chrome center wheel, which is worth about 3 bucks, you can, once it's open, you can just simply wipe the chrome off the wheel, and well, then you have the rare one. Here's a cool one, tan interior police. That I believe is the 1990 parking plates. Very rare one. And here is a 2-pack, around 1998. Would have come with the Thugs car. Can't remember what the Thugs car was, but that's a 2-pack exclusive. Not exclusive, playset I should say. There's a standard, good old, about 1987 release. Missing a wheel. Did not notice that until just now. Mint condition, otherwise missing one wheel. Better double check the tissue paper later for that wheel. There's another, that's a pretty standard 1989 release for that Nissan. I get a lot of flack for the way I say Nissan. Got my own little pronunciation here in Canada of it. Not to say all Canadians call it that. I'm not sure where this one came from. I think that is a mainline car. Believe, yes, that would be about a 1990 or 91 Blue Card police car. Nothing crazy about that one. Yeah, this is a nice older, that would definitely be about 87 or 88 for this truck. Nissan truck. And from the Gleam Team series, this was another Blue Card type car. We've got the dark chrome version here with the tan interior. I believe that is the more valuable one. There's also a light chrome one, which we'll probably see in a second here. Look at that. Another Sheriff Patrol car. Another Blue Card collectors. Got a few of these now. Might be two of the same actually. Those both look exactly the same. Yes, those two are identical. As far as I can tell anyways. There's the other Gleam Team car I was telling you about. Note the much brighter chrome and black interior versus the one we just looked at. Hopefully those are in the camera field of view, I can't really tell. Got it hovering over my head here so we can open and explore this box together. This one here is pretty much the reason why I spent $80 on this group of police cars. This is an extremely rare variation. Regular Blue Card type car featuring a crossover of, maybe not that one, of the interior, the tan interior. Very tough to find this Sheriff Patrol car with a tan interior. This is the only example I've ever seen, and here I have it now in my hand. I bid wholeheartedly, as I like to say, on that grouping when I saw this particular car. in the collection. Here is a very rare Chevy Stalker in kind of a gold metallic, the red interior. This is the interior that we saw on the other variation. These are two very rare variations, actually. This one was just hard to find, actually. Hard to find variation. This one here is a true kind of a parts transitionary variation, as I like to call it. So here, again, with the parts transitionary variations, you can see another, I think we've got two of these cars once again. Slightly, I know this collector I bought these from is very particular with certain things, such as the boldness of a tampo being a possible changeover. Not sure if I would agree 100% with that, but do see a lot of differences in the same tampos just based on how the machine printed it. Here's an old one, going right back to about 1977 on this one. Slight difference here. Bolder print. A matte dark red finish compared to this more bright red finish. The bases are the same. That's an interesting variation. I'm going to have to compare with some of the cars on my wall to see if I have those two distinct reds. There was a very distinct change in red at one point back in 1977, where one had one was a dark red you saw quite often on fire trucks, and the other fire trucks were bright red. I don't know if I have that on the cars. So, and here is the truck I was telling you about I've seen sell, usually in the package, mind you, but sometimes loose, for anywhere between 75 and over 100 American dollars. Another rare, very rare parts transition vehicle. Nissan hardbody from probably around, this one would be probably a Blue Card collector, 1990 or so, 91. Most of them would have looked like this, but this pink interior was to come when the black, which will probably come out next year somewhere, a black version of the truck. Here it is. Very recognizable, pretty easy truck to find. All had a hot pink interior, and this was like one of those last white bodies, and got mixed together with the hot pink interior, whereas normally that one always had a black interior. Axle's toast on this one. Not a big deal. This is a pretty simple truck to find. Slightly more rare version with the off-road construction tire versus just the regular type construction tire, but not significantly so. There's another nice piece. This is the all-metal. You saw the two examples of this one here. Different wheels. Same vehicle. These are pretty tough trucks to find, but not impossible. However, this MR2 from the collector card years, around 1992 or so, hard to say exactly, somewhere between 90 and 95, featuring the 5-spoke wheels. I think that's number collector 234. I can't remember for sure. Don't quote me on that. I've got to double check, but that is a rare car to find, especially if you can find it with the other wheel variations, and there are 3 of them in this package, believe it or not. Another Nissan hardbody truck, this time with the yellow interior. Pretty standard, easy vehicle to find. One of the later year transitions, still in the Blue Card though. That one will be going onto the wall. And here it is with the tri-blade, or snow blade, I don't know. I think this was a tri-blade. Can't remember exactly. Kind of a goofy looking wheel, but there's a variation. And what do we got here? This is one of those, yeah, that's just a wheel variation there. Supposedly there are different variations with dark pink and light pink in the tampo. You may see that here somewhere. The Cheezosaurus Rex. This is a Chuck E. Cheese promotional restaurant vehicle from, I don't know exactly when, mid-90s. Now I'm hoping, I'm not sure if it's in here, but I'm hoping I find this vehicle, this exact casting, with these wheels on it. I'm still on the hunt for that. The red at the back, this is the older paint scheme for this vehicle. They usually always have metal bases. I'm pretty sure you can't get this with plastic base. Heavy truck, very nice piece. And here's a hard car to find. Not the car so much, but with these tri-blade type wheels. That is a tough police car to find with that variation. And here we go. MR2 with the 3 spokes. Very good. Tough car to find. Ha! I found the wheel to the police car. Great, now I don't have to search through all this Kleenex. And here it is with the Ultra Hot wheels. So this collection of MR2s in black, oh, I've seen each one of these cars at times sell for between $20 and $35. To have all of them in this one grouping is just awesome, and in pretty much mint condition. There's an old version, probably about 1985, Air Patrol. And looking at this one, I think we've got the 1-door paint job and the 2-door paint job. This is a later variation around 1988. This is the first one that would have come out, 1985 or so. And we've got some Beetles to look at. Now this was an expensive little group. I was just going to try and rest it there, but I'll put it down for a second. We're going to look at 3 of these red Beetles all at the same time, because if they're not next to each other, they're probably not going to really look like much. There's the other one. I bought 3 of these. Hopefully this is still on the camera. I'm trying to keep this in view of you. Got these 3. You can see right off the bat, this one's got a really bright red. This one's got green, an aqua green outline on the flames, whereas these ones are dark blue. And 3 different types of red, 3 different variations here. These cars were quite expensive to buy. Something you pretty much can't find just looking on eBay or out in the flea markets unless you have a couple more beside it to really compare the different reds with. It's an easy car to overlook. Come on. Got the 7-spoke variation of the collector cars, blue cards. Nice Fiero. Hard to say, it could be from about 89, but they release these on the blue cards right through for a while too, so you can sometimes tell by the base they have some different brandings as to the name of the car on it. I'll compare that later. Mainly I bought them for all these glittery green card variations. I have a couple, but some of mine are really chipped up. These are from the Glitter series, blue card. That one's the Ultra Hot wheels, and we have a 7-spoke. 7-spoke there. Kind of trying to hunt down the ones as they come out that are in a group. There's the 5-spoke. I believe that is the tough one to find. Just trying to eyeball. Yes, it is. I had those other 2 previously that you saw in some conditions, and this one will be the silver hot one. Pretty tough one to find. That'll be my second mint version of that car. Got a few duplicates here, but there's more. Here's the one with the Ultra Hot wheels on it. I do believe I have that one already. And this one is next to impossible to find. Blackwall version of the Fiero. That's a new one for me. That is awesome. Such a hard car to find. Mint, mint, mint. Funny enough, I was out at the flea market today and I picked up one of these cars just randomly. I couldn't help it. It was mint. $6 Canadian. Pretty sure that's just a standard Fiero. We'll compare it to this one here. Ah, difference here. One's got the hood tampo. One does not. The base is different as well. We'll zoom in on that later. Probably can't see it from this angle. Now the Blackwalls on this one are a little easier to find. No, yes, I have that car already. Still a tough car to find though. These are all from the same year, the blue card years. Oh, I just knocked the motor out of this one too. It must come out pretty easily. They're all sheared off. A little dab of glue and you never know the difference though. That was the one where I was saying, hey, funny, they both have loose motors. You could wipe the chrome off this wheel to make this rare variation in a loose, so don't go paying top dollar for a black wheel variation if you have a couple of those. This one is from the Blue series. It was a 4-vehicle set. I think it's more than just the Blue series, but this is a, I'm not sure if this is a Blue Card or not. It might be a little after the Blue Card series. Just scanning my wall behind me here, I don't see it. Pretty sure that is a later model, probably around 97 or so, when they had the faded card look. It's like white at the bottom, goes to blue. This is a tough vehicle to find. Certainly worth about $30 to $50 any day of the week. Metal base on this vehicle. Another part transition from the last of the metal vehicles in '89, switching over to the Blue Card years. This wasn't a Blue Card as well, but you could also find it in the Trailbuster version of the old Hot Wheel cards. So that's a transition. Oh, here's the gem of the entire collection. I have been hunting this Volkswagen Beetle from the 1990 parking plates for so long, but it's always ridiculously expensive. Usually in the package, if the package is in any decent condition at all. I think there's one on eBay right around now, time of filming, but these typically sell with lots of bids for anywhere between $300 and $400 US. I can't explain why this one is so expensive now, because if you look at the old valuation guides, it wasn't worth more than 20 bucks. I think I shelled out $130 US in a fierce bidding war for this loose example, and I prefer it loose because I don't need to spend an extra $200 for cardboard, and now I can actually park it on my wall next to all the other parking plates that I have. That's a very special piece to me, and simply fantastic I was able to get it. There's another, this is a dark chrome center wheel variation of this truck. It's like a gunmetal gray center wheel versus the bright chrome. Just a funny little variation you'd probably never expect to really find if you're just out shopping these cars. Silver Hot One version, I did not, well, I did have that one after all. That's alright. And here's a beautiful little piece. I don't think that's very old though. That's probably from like the 40 car set or something. 40th anniversary. I think that's a bonus car. I don't remember buying these ones. These are bonus cars that this seller gave me. He's such a nice guy. I did not buy these cars. These are just... Well, I just checked my camera and it died suddenly, so I'm sorry for the interruption there. We'll finish this video once we have a close, in-depth look at some of these cars. I know I gave you guys a lot of information already as they were coming out of the box. I really just couldn't help it. So exciting for me to open up a vintage Blackwall haul once again. It's been a while. Anyways, I was just touching on how I had some bonus Volkswagens in the mix. And then these two cars here, the XT3. Two very rare variations from 1988 or 89, somewhere in between. These ones have the flames on them, the black paint jobs. Most often found with a yellow and orange stripe down the center. These ones have the flames and the black and yellow canopies. You can see the canopies in the front. Pretty hard cars to find. I've only ever seen them once before when I was hunting them specifically. Kind of just came across them this time, and so I couldn't pass them up for 20 bucks. I had to add them to the Hot Wheels Museum, even if they are duplicates. So I'm going to get these cars sorted for you now by type, and we'll just have a a final review, if you will, of all these cool cars and touch on any details I missed, such as where the heck some of these MR2s came from and whatnot. And that, fellow collectors and friends, is $1,000 worth of Hot Wheels. I think I got my money's worth this time, wouldn't you agree? Pretty cool collection, some impossible to find variations. So much so that even with all my forethought and planning on the variations wall where these vehicles are going, I haven't even left enough room for some of these vehicles, figuring they were so rare that I would never find them. For instance, I've only left one space available for these black trucks, Nissan hardbodies, yet now I have some additional variations which will go right next to those, including this transitionary period piece, which is a blue card, and the metal base version here, which I never thought I would have either of these vehicles, at least when I set up the wall, and also some of these other vehicles. Luckily, I was able to find this tri-blade version of this vehicle, but I don't think I left enough space for that and the gunmetal center wheel variation. Along with those two other pieces, I gotta shuffle these things around and somehow find room to put them in this whole area where I've only got enough spaces really to put in the cars I reasonably expected to find. So, a little bit of a sorting process about to happen here, and I like to photograph each of the pieces as well. So, we'll kind of go through them a little bit here. Starting with the cars that I mostly overlooked the major details on, which I believe was these MR2s. I wasn't 100% familiar just opening them up out of the box where they came from, so let's look at those ones specifically. I had to do some major research on these two cars. These are Target exclusives from the 2000 Hot Wheels Cool Toys collector packs, in which each car came with a couple goofy looking big rigs that don't really look realistic to me, but anyways, they came with an exclusive car. In some cases it was not an MR2, but these were from there, so you should be able to find those. Cool Toys is spelled Kooltoyz, and they are available on eBay. I was able to find a few examples. Not overly expensive, but I think that's partly because nobody knows about them. And these are awesome variations to have in the collection. That's what those are. Those two are both about that. This one is from the 1999 Power Launcher set, which is just a spring-loaded machine in which you back a car up into it and release the button, out they go. Now, I bought a whole bunch of Power Launchers a little over a year ago, meaning to do a review on them, including one that had this car. I just never got around to it, and I have to dig them out wherever they put them. I can't quite remember. At any rate, those can be a bit hard to find, and that one you'd have to search for. The Getty gas promotional car was released at Getty gas stations in 1992 with the purchase of gasoline. This one here is from the 2001 Pavement Pounders set, which I think was another set that came with a truck or something like that, and an exclusive car. This is that car. Red with some flame, silver and black flame tampos on it. The remainder, I think I'd said these were from collector number 234. These are collector number 233 of the Blue Card, released in 1995 or thereabouts. I think the white ones were released previous to that. A variation here, which you may note if you're a packaged car collector especially, is the chrome plated rally lights on the front and the black unplated lights on other variations. These ones were first released in 1991. Pretty cool cars. And over here, this is the 1994 Aquafresh toothpaste exclusive car. Certain packages came with not only the tube of Aquafresh toothpaste, but one of several variations of this car. I do have a couple different ones on my wall. Some are bright pink with the same tampos. Some are red, missing certain roof and hood tampos. And this one is the prettiest of the bunch, I think. Red with the chrome fog lights and full tampos. Moving on to the Volkswagen Beetles. We talked about those quite a bit already, but I want to show you a little bit more of the park and plate collection that I have. Although this is going to be a separate video at some point soon. In the background here, you can see the 1990 park and plate, starting with the 40s Woody up in the top left corner. Over and to the right, a couple T-Bird variations. Firebird, Ferraris, Camaros. There's the police car that I got 2 of now in my recent purchase. Quite a hard piece to find actually. And this extends right on down, finishing with the Soul Air CX4 here, of which I am missing a blue window variation. Other than that, this is now a complete collection for 1990. However, the parking plates continued on into 1991, and that's where this Volkswagen Beetle would have been found. This collection is a little bit more spotty for me just as far as variations go. I have 2 of the Bywayman variations, but I'm missing 2 more. And then I'm pretty sure there's a car I'm missing here. It might be a variation of the T-Bird or a variation of the T-Bucket, of which I have 2, red seat and orange seat. The Claforan, Claforan 500, the Indy car anyways. That was part of the parking plate as well. And this is where the Volkswagen Beetle will reside, as they are alphabetical order. Below that we've got the California Customs, but I didn't buy any of those today. Next, let's take a look at these stalkers once again. Both of them had the rare gold ultra hot wheels on them. And here was the most common version, a very common car from the Blue Card Glitter series. I don't have the collector number on hand right now, but that's what it would have looked like most often if you have it in your collection. I do believe this one with the yellow interior did come out with the gold wheels as well, but this would be even more rare than that version. I think I might have that one I just mentioned somewhere on card in a box, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to dig around a bit. I do believe I covered pretty much most of the information about these patrol police cars, so I won't go into any more detail on them. Same as goes for the XT3s in the back, but these Fieros, I just brought out one more from my collection of Blue Card era Fieros, and that was the ultra hot wearing version of the black one. These are the 2 I bought today, or recently I should say. And so therefore, here is a whole bunch of Fieros from the Blue Card collection. Finally, let's take a look at those Power Command racers. Power Command racers. I never thought I'd have a complete collection such as this, all 16 vehicles, and in great shape, but here they are. Let's go over a few of the basics of these awesome cars. Further to what I was telling you about the Power Commands as we were opening them out of the box, they have a switch on the bottom. Here's the base of the cars. Pretty much each one of them is roughly the same idea. There's a Ferrari and the stalker car here. Is that aluminum? No, Thunderbird. Ford Thunderbird stalker. Anyways, as you can see, it's wound up, and when you depress the spoiler, that activates it. Now they can go quite fast depending how far you wind them back. I would take care to wind back these cars as they were released in 1990 only, putting them at, what is that? Nearly 30 years old. 27 years old these cars are, with rubber tires. Great shape. There was 2 different types of spoilers, as you can see. Turn them around, you can see a little better. For some reason there was a variation. Note the larger font for power on the left, the narrower font for the power on the right, and a slightly wider spoiler here on the left. Small subtle differences, doesn't really seem to make a difference at all to the performance of the car, and barely perceptible actually. I didn't even know about that till I just did some research quickly to really freshen up my memory on what these cars are all about. The commercials of the time show the young lads just blowing on the back of these things. I don't know if that actually will work or not. I've never tried it, but I'm going to try right now. Yes, it does. It works. And still some speed left over even after its collision with the IROC Camaro. So, really nice cars. I've shown those 2 already a few times. Here they are. IROCs. Nice real Hot Wheel castings. Same scale as everything else. Love the 57 Chevy as always. They're actually quite light given that there's little motors in them and metal bases, being the body's all plastic. You can see they're a bit dirty, but I'm sure that with some careful cleaning they will shine up really nice. There's no actual damage or dents or dings, which are common in plastic cars, especially this old, and I would venture to say they have not been played with. This is merely storage grime, if you will. Looks like some water, maybe some rusty water was dripping on this one. Probably is going to come right off, I think. Really cool. And they all seem to work. That one just took off on its own. Oh yes. So, really nice to have that. A full collection, all in one purchase. Really doesn't get much better than that for me. I'll show you what I had previous to this. Let's go over to the Hot Wheel room wall for Power Command racers. And there they are, way up there. It was definitely incomplete, but all in very good condition except for this purple Camaro, which was missing part of its spoiler. So, we'll fill out that entire collection, which will bring it right down to the 1991 parking plates, and so on. So, I know this was a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got a lot more videos to come, and I've been meaning to get around to a lot of request videos and whatnot. I have been so busy with work outside of the Hot Wheel room that I have not been getting out the numbers of videos I wanted to, and of course ones that people ask to see are always kind of the last thing I get to after all the stuff that I have to show right off the bat when I buy it, and while it's still fresh for me, because you know that's what it's all about for me, sharing the collection. And as much as I would like to get out everything that everyone wants to see, it would literally take a lifetime based on the requests, although keep them coming. Many times I do take one of those ideas and I love to give credit where due, wherever possible. So, stick around. Lots more videos coming. I got some work to do now, photographing this collection and getting them on the wall. Happy hunting, everyone.